Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the most magical podcast in the Midwest. That's right, the Magic in the Midwest podcast, starring USA Today best-selling author J.B. Michaels and his more successful wife, Ashley Michaels. And now, your hosts. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the Magic in the Midwest podcast, brought to you by the works of J.B. Michaels, which you can find out more about on MrMichaels.com. And on pre-order right now is Raftery's Ghost, a Mac and Millie mystery, book 5 of the Mac and Millie mystery series, which will come out on September 23rd. So please check that out. Read it. Read the rest of the books in the series. Lots of fun. It is a blast. Ashley is reading it right now.
I am.
Yes.
Super great.
Yeah. She seems to enjoy it. Seems to be enjoying it thus far. So yeah, check that out among many other books and works online at wherever books are sold. And like I said, the site is Mr. M-I-S-T-E-R Michaels at MrMichaels.com. MrMichaels.com. And also, ladies and gentlemen, through this podcast, the 94th podcast of Magic in the Midwest, we have met lots of great people. And one of our favorites is
Emily over at Magical Mouse Travel. She is a vacation planner, but also a dear friend, and you should definitely reach out to her if you're looking to book a trip. She specializes in Disney and Universal, but she can book all travel, including cruises and also inclusive resorts, and obviously it comes at no cost to you, so that's the big thing. And she can help you with all the things, dining, and she'll monitor for savings for you. She can organize airport transfers, and she also creates a customized itinerary for you and your family, which is awesome. She'll send this information over to you with these tips and tricks and packing tips and all that stuff. So it's just awesome. So reach out to her. The best way to get a hold of her is through email. Her email is emily@magicalmousetravel.com. And of course, like I said, it's free of charge, and she will send you a no obligation quote.
Yes, very fun, very, very good. And right now she just got back from the West Coast version of the Disney parks, Disneyland.
Yes.
So she has firsthand info and experience over at Disneyland as well. So
yeah, and Disney Cruise Line, Disney World. She goes there.
Yes,
often.
Yes, and the Universal parks and
yes.
all sorts of stuff, sorts of some good stuff here. All right,
she's just good people, guys. She's just good people.
Yes. So yeah, please consider reaching out to Emily at Magical Mouse Travel. Okay, so Ash and I on the 94th podcast wanted to talk about what we ate in our dining adventures during our June 1st through the 8th adventure at Walt Disney World Resort. And so we're going to go through, we ate a decent amount of stuff and had some really great experiences at different parts of the resort. We didn't do like a sit down every single day because we did order groceries, which is a really big perk of being a DVC member. Also, so please, make sure to, if you are staying at DVC or have a room with a mini fridge or something, use it, because you can save some dough there. Okay, so we did. Which one do you want to talk about first, Ash? What do you want to talk about
first? Just go in the order that we ate there. So first would be Brown Derby.
Right. The first major meal, sit down, and this is a signature dining experience. Okay, so this is the top of the money
sign.
Money sign. I mean, it's it's
how JB says.
Yes.
Four money signs.
4 money signs. So we actually got these. We made these pretty far in advance. Actually, no. Scratch that. We actually made Chef Mickey's a Chef Mickey's reservation first, like 60 days in advance. And then later on, we were kind of talking, like, what do we want to do? Would we rather already be in a park, or would rather go to Contemporary, from the Wilderness Lodge, and then go,
Well,
into
the other
park.
thing to note was that at the time, right now, I think it's still at the recording of this podcast, you can make dining reservations 60 days in advance. Is that correct?
Yes.
And when
still
we initially
60.
looked, Brown Derby was not available. And so we opted for Chef Mickey's, which I know a lot of people really love too. But we kept checking back, and as we did that, other things became available. And I don't know if that's because they're releasing them kind of staggered, or people canceled. So, anyways, if the restaurant you want is not available at 60 days, I would definitely keep checking back. You never know when something might pop up. So,
Yes.
we opted to go for a restaurant that we would be in the park for already, and we canceled our Chef Mickey's reservation and did Brown Derby instead.
Right, so that's kind of a key. That's something to consider. Like, Disney has so many restaurants, and so many restaurants within each resort as well. Many of the resorts, not all the resorts. So it's like, you kind of have to think about how you want to plan that. Like, if do you want to have, because our reservation was for, I think it was 4:45. So it was a 4:45 reservation that if we were and I think our Chef Mickey's was slightly later. It was like a 5:05. So we would have had to gone, from Wilderness Lodge to Contemporary, which is easy. That's just a boat ride. It's a quick little skipper boat ride, which you can easily pick up. But it would have been, from the Contemporary, we would have had to get, we would just go to the bus stop from the Contemporary. But by the time we were going to be done with dinner, we would only have maybe 2.5 hours in the park, if that.
Right, depending on how quick dinner went and that type of thing. Plus, Harrison's not super crazy about the characters yet, so that's sort of why we opted not to spend the money at Chef Mickey's when he's not going to be super into a character dining. But
it's also interesting, too, but now I think it's almost easier to do something like that.
Right.
Because if you stack GD Plus, if you've stacked GD Plus throughout the day, knowing you're not going to be in the park until after 6:45 or whatever, or 7, you could stack a ton of attractions,
which we will talk about soon, because we did that for one of our other reservations. Obviously, that's assuming that you have Genie Plus,
right?
Right. But yes. Anyways, yes.
Yeah, so that's kind of an interesting thing. Like,
at the time, we didn't know how the stacking worked, so we were like, we're going to end up with only a few hours in the park after that. We don't want to chance it and take that much time and whatever.
But now it's interesting. Now, if you do want to try and, stretch your time a little bit, you can, because, GD Plus, if you get it, allows you to stack a bunch of things.
Especially if you're going into Magic Kingdom or Hollywood Studios on that particular day. Because I would argue that the night that we got the most in was in Magic Kingdom, and we got in there like at 6:30, maybe 6:45, and we did a ton.
Yeah.
Almost like a day's worth of attractions in like 2 hours.
Right.
It was crazy. So anyways, let's get back to Brown Derby.
Right. So we go to Brown Derby, and we actually checked in. We were slightly early, and they took our number, and they were going to text us when our table was ready.
We had a private room.
Yes, of course. So then we go, and we were able to go in, and we had a quarter booth, actually, which was really nice. Like, it was actually a nice, bigger quarter booth, that kind of was, the Brown Derby, it's got kind of those old circular booths, like leather booths and stuff. Booths. So, if you're not familiar with the Brown Derby, it's got sort of like a Spanish mission style, architecture inside of it. It's really cool. It's got all the autographs and caricatures of a bunch of various different movie stars and Broadway stars and silent movie stars and all sorts of stuff all over the walls, which is neat. And then we had our server, who was really great, and it was her first night on her own. She told us. Mm-hmm. And we did not have any issues really at all with her. She was pretty great. We did also use our DVC member discount, which is like for most of the restaurants, it's only 10%. For a lot of the merchandise locations, you get a 20% discount, but for restaurant, it's usually 10. And I also saved up my Disney rewards points from my Disney Chase, Visa. To use for this and like a gift card because I knew it was going to be, a little bit more of it's going to be the most expensive meal that we had throughout this trip, which usually we do one like, more expensive dinner and then, kind of do whatever, quick service or do other things. Or like we said, we order groceries. For the other stuff. So, what did you get, Ash? What was your entree? You got the free-range chicken.
I don't know how to say the other part. Which came with pan-fried potatoes,
thigh confit,
and red wine sauce.
Yes.
And it was very good. The chicken wasn't dry at all. It was very juicy. It was cooked well. The potatoes were also very good. I'm not like a huge foodie.
Yeah.
I'll eat Taco Bell happily or expensive food just as
right.
happily. The only thing that I would note about it for the price
$35,
is that it was relatively small portions. I mean, arguably the size portion we should be eating, but you don't get like a ton of food in your entree. I felt like I didn't. I don't know about you, but the chicken amount was fairly small.
And I did notice
it was
that.
nice to not overeat, but I think they kind of are relying on you getting an appetizer, an entree, and then maybe a dessert.
Right.
So, but yeah, that was my only note on it. It was very good, and I would definitely recommend it. I would get it again. Yes.
And the other thing is here you have to realize that the main entree for the people love that they're known for is the Cobb salad.
Yes.
Which really is only $20 if you don't add any chicken or anything. But obviously if you add chicken or shrimp, you're going to add stuff to it. But it's supposed to be fantastic. No one got the Cobb salad.
No, you know what? I love salads, and I just haven't had the best luck with salads when we eat out lately. I feel like I always get sick.
Ash has Ash is
I didn't
sensitive
for a really
stomach.
long time, but no, I don't know about that. It's just something with salads.
Yeah.
It's too bad.
It is.
Because I used to always get them. But anyways.
Yeah, so you want to chance it, right?
Yeah, when you're on vacation,
Yeah, why would you get what you don't want to get sick? You don't want to get.
No.
You want to do that. So go ahead.
We didn't get an appetizer, right?
We did not.
We didn't. Okay.
Then I got the filet mignon with Walt Disney's roast beef hash. It came with asparagus. I don't think I got the mushrooms because I just don't like mushrooms.
I think they put them on the side.
Yeah, they put them on the side or something. My filet was very good. It was, and like you said, Ash, it wasn't super huge. You know what I mean? It wasn't like it was not like a very huge piece of meat, which I think is good.
It is. I'm not upset about the size of like the main entree, like the meat, but it was like there wasn't really a lot of, like, it'd be different if you felt like there's a decent amount of potatoes or whatever. Like the amount of food as a whole on the plate was fairly small.
Right. I did substitute the mushrooms or the hash or whatever, I think, with potatoes, mashed potatoes. And they were totally cool with that. They were like, "Oh yeah, sure, you could do that." So I did that. Had the asparagus, had the potatoes. It was a very good, safe, of course, right? But it was very well cooked, and it was cooked the way that I wanted it to be cooked, which is, medium well. I don't like to have any real pink on my steak. That's just me. Mm-hmm. And it was cooked the way that I wanted it to, which was great. The temperature was just right. So it was very good. But you're right. I mean, I pretty much devoured all of it like it was gone, Mm-hmm. But then, we also, but it was, an excellent. And then I got what did you get to drink? What was your drink?
Oh, I would know it if I saw it.
You got, we tried different types of we got alcoholic drinks. Like we got, pretty good drinks. I was
don't
just
see it
yeah.
on
It's
here.
not. It's actually not on.
It was like a
the online
lemon
menu for some reason.
something. I mean, didn't have a ton of flavor to it. It was just like vodka and like what felt like a squeeze of lemon and maybe some seltzer. It wasn't really
Yeah, it didn't really
anything.
Yeah.
Which at first I wasn't super crazy about. Obviously, as I kept drinking it, I liked it more. Probably
Right.
because, the alcohol
Right.
was hitting. But it was
Yeah.
actually kind of nice because of how hot it was to not drink something super sugary.
Right.
And it ended up feeling refreshing and just didn't, bother my stomach at all or anything like that. So it ended up being,
Didn't I
kind
get
of
like
nice.
a watermelon mojito or what did I get? I can't remember
Maybe
what I
it
got.
was. Yeah, I can't find
Something
this
like
menu
can't.
is, like,
I'm sorry, we
super
can't
weird.
see the. It's not on the menu. It's just
There's
really
like
weird.
a few things on here.
Strange, just showing food items and some after dinner drinks, but no drink menu. But anyway, so we both got that. It was, I think it was maybe my favorite meal. I mean, it was tied with another thing that we did, but because the other one was really good too. But all right, and then we did get dessert. We got a couple
Got
desserts.
two. Yeah, the creme brulee, and then we got the
Decadent flourless
mocha
chocolate mocha cake with raspberry and amaretto crumble. Both were really good.
Yes.
The density of the flourless chocolate mocha cake was intense.
Whoa,
I
yeah.
mean, you felt like you ate like a brick.
I took we're a big sweets family, meaning like my side of the family, and I took like a few bites, small bites of that, and I was like, that's all I need. Like it was very, which was kind of
Very
great.
rich.
You feel like you didn't need to eat a lot of it.
Yeah.
Between the five of us, two desserts were definitely enough to share.
Yeah.
I mean, they weren't like huge, but they were so dense that you felt like you didn't need to eat a lot of it.
No.
Plus, my mom ate most of it.
Right.
It's nuts.
Yeah, she ate
She
most
loves
of
sweets.
the creme brulee, which was great.
I'm not a huge creme brulee.
I actually really liked
I
it.
tried a little bite. That's just not my
Yeah,
scene, but
I
I
didn't-
really liked it.
I did not think I would like it as much as I did, but I did. It was tasty. It was with mint and lime macerated strawberries, is what it says. The creme brulee comes with. So, if you were to rate your meal, Ash, what would you give it at Brown Derb? It was just the entire experience too. Like, just how do you like the Brown Derby dining experience?
I like Brown Derby. I mean, I think I would give it like an 8. Mm-hmm. The food was really good. The service was good, but I mean, it wasn't like I walked out of there like, whoa, it's amazing.
Right, everybody has to go to the
and
bathroom,
not that
yeah.
every experience has to be like that. I really like the ambiance in there. I feel like we could have had a little bit more food on our plate. That's probably what I'm gonna ding it
Right.
for.
Right.
But it's, one other thing to note, if you have kids, it's pretty loud in there. So you can get away with your kids being kind of loud. Just,
Yes.
something that parents
Yes.
like to know. But yeah, I would give it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah. I think I would give it a
8.5. I was going back and forth between 8 and 8.
I'm going to give it a 9 because the meal was great, and I do like it because it's old school Hollywood. So for me, it's
Yeah.
like it's the aesthetic inside. But yeah, I wouldn't like. I mean, if I were to tell someone where to eat at Studios, I would definitely say this place. If you got the money and you want to have a nicer dinner, definitely here.
But I wouldn't tell you had to go out of your way on your trip to eat at Brown.
No. I mean, it's still one of the better places on property, I think, to get a good meal. But yeah, it didn't like, it didn't totally blow us out of the water. I mean, it was still really good, but we also, we only had what we had, so we didn't get like, the whole menu. So sometimes people do, reviews of restaurants and they get like samples of everything, but we did not do that. But
I mean,
we did
really
have a
super
good,
solid, great restaurant.
Yes, very good. And then we did go, we had another sit down, a second one, which wasn't quite as expensive. And that was the Grand Floridian Cafe, which is, because we transferred over to the Grand Floridian the next day or two, and, the next day. And we had dinner there at around 5 o'clock. And this was an interesting experience. I feel like we did not have an optimal experience. I feel like something happened. There was something going on that I think like kind of threw us all off a little bit. It was very weird. So first off, it's a cafe. It's only $2 signs, 2 money signs, but it's still sit down. Okay, and it's a very pleasant like atmosphere. You know, it's the Floridian. It was nice in there. It only opens, I think, for dinner at like 5. So when we got there was really no one in there. There was no one sitting in there, and then it filled in gradually as we went. Ash got the fried chicken.
He did.
How was that?
It was good. Unlike the brown derby, I feel like there was a lot of food on my plate, and the fried chicken was. I mean, it was good. There was a lot of pesto on it. Just a lot of pesto. So
okay.
And horseradish type taste.
Ooh, I would have hated that.
So it started out good, but then it got like, you know,
Too
I don't
much.
want to get gross, but I felt like I was sort of like burping that taste the whole night. You know what I mean? How some people love super strong tastes of food like that.
Yeah.
And I do like pesto and horseradish. I don't know why. I know there was maybe I'm making up the pesto part. I feel like they were both on different things.
Right.
But it
You're
just, after I
flavor for
started
summer.
like eating more of it, I was like, all right, this is, you know, this is really strong. I could smell it on my own breath, like from the first like 3 bites.
Yeah.
So it tasted really good, but you know, it's one of those where you're making a commitment to the seasoning.
Yes.
There.
Yes.
So I feel like if they had just had a little bit less on there and put the rest of it on the side or something, that was really my only note. Everything else about it was good. The amount of food was really good. And I'll let you talk about your food before we talk about the
right.
the experience.
It was weird. It says if you go to the site, it says breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But then when we were there that day, it was not open until dinner.
Maybe it's not open, or maybe they close between.
Maybe they close.
Maybe it depends on the day.
Yeah, something like that. So you had the buttermilk fried chicken, is what you had.
I guess it doesn't sound super familiar. I was actually going through the menu and I was like, "Is that what I got?" Because I know it was chicken, so it must have been that.
No, I think it was.
Okay.
I think it was. And then I had the lobster thermidor burger, which I never really do. Like I never have lobster or seafood really.
Right.
And it was good. I mean, it was good. It was different. You know what I mean? I felt like.
Could you taste this? It tasted seafood.
I felt like the burger got totally underpowered, like overpowered. I mean, the
Okay.
burger got overpowered by
Yeah.
the lobster.
Yeah.
Because the burger just didn't have enough. The one thing I noticed about it, the burger didn't have as much flavor. Like it needed more flavor. And it wasn't really tasting the burger as much as I was tasting the lobster and the thermidor sauce on it. It was still there, but I felt like, you know, it was good. I enjoyed it. I didn't finish it because it was huge and it had like it was like stacked, you know, so it had a lot of like lobster on it as well. But you know, it was interesting. I wanted to try it. You know, if you're a fan of burgers, I would recommend it just to see, you know, kind of, it is kind of a unique burger that they have. And I did ask our server, who was, you know, nice and pleasant, but I did ask the server, like, what should I get here? You know, what's good? And he's like, well, I do like the thermidor burger, whatever. So that's what I got. And, you know, it was just, I didn't love it, but, you know, it wasn't like, I don't think I would get it again, you know, but it was still good. Like I enjoyed it. So yeah, we were in, you know, then, you know, as our meal went on, it just felt like our server came back. I don't know if he got confused or something.
Well, I feel like something happened because
it
he
was
was
really-
really strong in the beginning, and I mean his interactions
He,
with
like,
us were
disappeared.
good. I feel like,
Yeah.
and he was really good with the recommendations and stuff like that. But I feel like then he disappeared, for a really long time. And our reservation was right when they opened for dinner.
Yeah.
And so it got really busy right after we sat down, and it almost seemed like maybe someone didn't show up to work. or something, and they were short-staffed, and he was sort of trying to cover, because I almost don't want to blame him. It didn't seem like it seemed like maybe something that was a little out of his control, but obviously still the fault of the restaurant. So yeah, and we kind of felt it because we had stacked our Genie Plus reservations that night for Magic Kingdom, so we were kind of trying to get out of there, and there was just this really long part of it where he didn't come back.
I was not. I was very unhappy with what happened, and I didn't want to, because your mom and dad were there. I didn't want to make it a big deal. I mean, it really isn't a big deal, but it sort of is, because time, like you say at Disney, time is money, and Disney for years was always about that service and that extra mile of but this guy he literally, I don't know what happened.
I mean, right? It could have been not him specifically, right? It could have been something that happened
that
caused it. Why not?
Yes, either way, it doesn't matter, because if it's the restaurant's fault or it's our server's fault, we waited a very long time. We wanted to order the key lime tart for dessert. I mean, we were ready to do that.
Yeah, I would say so we ordered our food pretty quickly, drinks and food, and we got the food pretty fast. And then there was we all finished eating, and I would say there was a good 20 minutes after we were done eating where we did not see him.
We didn't see him at all.
Yeah, he was just gone. So I don't, like JB said, it doesn't really matter. In the end, though, I'm not a big supporter of being, right, maybe it's something out of his control. It's the restaurant, possibly, or him.
Still their fault, right?
But we were kind of sitting there waiting, and we wanted to get dessert. We had time to get dessert, and at that point, we didn't anymore. I mean, we waited a long time after we were done eating.
It was, frankly, it was.
We had to kind of get up and run out of there. By the time we got asked for the check, then he finally brought it, and then we had to sign it and everything.
And then that took another, I'll be honest with you.
It was not a good experience at that point.
It was horrendous. I'm never going back to Grand Floridian Cafe. That's how, for me, that just doesn't happen. You know what I mean? It wasn't that great,
the food
to be honest.
Super great. A little overpowering with the...
the service... I know that was one time and it was a unique experience and whatever was happening. But, I don't know. Guys, Disney time is money. We did have GD Plus reservations. We felt stressed at the dinner table, and that's not something I want to feel.
Well, and here's the thing,
we had plenty of time.
It's not just Disney. I mean, I'm going to go off the rails here for a little bit.
Right.
There's a restaurant by us that we really like, but sometimes you go there and you have to wait a super long time in between your waitress coming up, and it can they'll just forget your table once in a while. I mean, we've had 3 really long experiences there, and to me it's I just don't want to chance that. I just the food's great, so it's kind of unfortunate, but I kind of roll my eyes at going there because you never know. You feel like it's a gamble. I don't want to be in there for 3 hours because you just forgot, or they just forget to bring people's drinks out, and you have to say you want iced tea 3 times.
Right.
It's no one really wants to have that as an experience, so they need to figure out what's going on in there. Plus, like you said, I wasn't blown away by the food. I definitely ranked it lower than our meal at Brown Derby,
yes,
even though there was more food.
Yeah.
So it's not a huge recommendation for me.
No, it's not a recommendation for me. I just think it's one of those things where we were ready to actually spend more money. We wanted to have more. We wanted to have dessert. It just didn't happen, and what I think was the problem was that we were just sitting there.
Yes.
All of us were done with our food, and it was just and then you felt that, how you could feel the anticipation, you want the server to come back so you could order something or get something else, or even just call the server over. I would have done that.
Right,
but
there
was nowhere to be found.
And we were sitting pretty close to the back kitchen, so we could see where all the wait staff was going in and out, and we just did not see him.
No.
For 25 minutes.
Right.
And so it was and that sort of affected the rest of our night. You know what I mean? Then we had to we ran and got on the monorail, and then we ran into Magic Kingdom because of the Genie Plus, which you might be thinking, you should.
That's our own fault.
Yes and no, but I mean, we had more than enough time if you looked at the time frames to get there and eat a whole meal. I mean, that 25 minutes which ended up being 35 minutes
Right.
of just dead time.
Yeah.
Nothing. So
Yeah.
I feel like it was, maybe just not a great experience for that one time, but it hit us hard. So
It did. It was just, not like a great experience, especially when you're at the flagship resort, right?
yes.
I mean, this is the Grand Floridian, right?
Shouldn't happen anywhere, but
It shouldn't happen anywhere, but this is the place where Disney charges you the most money to stay at. This in Riviera, right? Like,
Yep.
you are eating in a restaurant there, so like, and you are staying there,
Yeah.
so it's weird.
And I feel like 25 minutes, which ends up being 35 by the time, because you guys went ahead, because Harrison had to go to the bathroom or something, and I stayed back with Dad to do the check and everything, and it was like, then we had to wait for that, then we had to wait for him to come get it. I mean, 35 minutes of just sitting there after you're completely finished with your meal is actually a really long time.
Yeah, it was not cool.
Not
Not
so,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah. So that one was low on my list of So okay, so I had made that reservation, so I sort of felt like a little bad about how that meal went, because I was like, these are the meals that are supposed to be like, you remember them, right? They're supposed to be great. They sit down and have a nice dinner. Food's important. So like we had a Magic Kingdom day. That was our first day at Magic Kingdom. Then we went to Epcot the next day, and then we went to Magic Kingdom the last day. That was our final park. So on the day before, I was trying to figure out something. I was like, oh man, I don't know what to do. Or maybe it was the morning of. I'm not sure. I was like, I don't want to leave our like last dining experience like that. Like I kind of felt bad that it didn't go well. Part of me felt like a little bit responsible because I picked it.
How dare you?
I know. But, whatever. I don't think anybody but me was thinking that, to be honest.
No, I don't think anybody thought that. I'm the first one to think bad things.
Right, yes, you are. True. So, and then I was like, well, I want to try something new. And Magic Kingdom Park is not known for its dining. It's not known for, like, having these, like, a great restaurant.
I don't know. I think Pico's Bill is like 5 stars.
Well,
amazing.
Yes. But like,
Great
you've got some great character and like thematic dining experiences at Magic Kingdom. You've got Be Our Guest, Cinderella's Royal Table. None of those are like blockbuster food wise, right?
Not in our experience, no.
But one of the most highly rated places, and like frankly, sort of a hidden gem. I feel like that people know about it, but it's not like ever.
I don't think it's one where it's like
much.
super coveted, where people are like, I have to go here.
Right, but
I almost don't want to tell everyone.
This was the sleeper hit of our trip.
Oh my gosh.
So
I mean, part of it's just because of my dad and his picky
eating
and stuff, but this was like right up my family's alley.
Right. So in one of the best spots, the best lands in all of Magic Kingdom, Liberty Square, is a gem of a restaurant called Liberty Tree Tavern.
Oh my gosh,
you
got to do it.
Yes, we're recording this on the 4th of July, so this is quite appropriate. And, for years, it's funny, I never realized this was here. We never ate here. I've been to Disney, I don't know, over 20 times.
Well, you've talked about it a lot, though.
Right, and then later I figured out it was around. I was like, oh my gosh, what is this? And for years, my family always complained about, or not kind of complained, but always was like baffled at American Adventure in Epcot that like all of these restaurants in World Showcase have these great, dedicated restaurants, showcasing the food of that country, like the fine dining of that country, right? And American Adventure before Sam Eagle's barbecue place just had like a basic cafe with chicken fingers and burgers. Like it was a basic quick service, at the American Adventure. For years, my family was like, why don't they have like a sit down, like a signature American Thanksgiving type dinner for everyone, in the American Adventure in Epcot? Well, I mean, my ignorance, right? Didn't realize that they have that over at the Liberty Tree Tavern in Magic Kingdom.
Yep.
in Liberty Square. So I didn't know that, So I got on the phone and I was like, I'm going to try this, and I'm going to try something that I know your dad will like, and I know that everybody will for sure love. So I was like, let's try Liberty Tree Tavern, which basically is a family-style dinner. So they just bring out a bunch of food for you, and everybody just picks it, off the the dish, right? And it's a traditional Thanksgiving dinner, right? It's got cranberries. Well, it even has more than that. It's got turkey, it's got pork, it's got beef,
green beans.
There
was like a few different
potatoes,
there were
rolls.
like 3 different kinds of meat. Yeah, there's like brisket. I thought maybe not.
Yeah, I think. I mean, it's pretty much the same. You get this, you can get the same stuff. It is like $40 per person, but you get unlimited drinks basically and unlimited food. You could just eat whatever you want. It's got here's what it is, Ash. It's called the Patriots Platter.
Okay.
It's got roasted turkey, pot roast, oven roasted pork and mashed potatoes, seasonal vegetables, herb stuffing, house-made macaroni and cheese. So that's what they bring out. And they bring out as much of that as you can eat.
Right. You can get more of whatever you run out of.
Right. So that's kind of cool.
Unlimited drinks, and then I think it's extra.
And stuffing.
Beer and wine and that type of thing.
Right. They give you stuffing as well. There are plant-based options as well. So you could get, it's not just like, the meat eaters. So yeah, and then you get like a toffee cake for dessert. It was so good. So, so we went in there, and it's like a cool New England type, Liberty Square, so old school colonial look to it, right? It's it's got the dark wood, and we were in the Thomas Jefferson room,
right?
So there was all this Thomas Jefferson stuff and the Louisiana Purchase and all sorts of cool stuff around there that were all Jefferson based, which is great. Which was really neat. The writer of the Declaration of Independence, big document for today.
Kind of a big deal.
Big document. Yes. So, what did you think, Ash?
Amazeballs. Loved it.
Amazeballs.
No, I mean, you know what? First of all, it was real hot that day. We actually lucked out with weather because we were there in June, and it's normally, pretty hot. But it wasn't really hot until our last 2 days. This was one of those. This was the last day. Yeah. Right. And it was really hot, and we were all kind of feeling the heat at that point. So we walked in there, we got seated pretty much right away, and the food was just, it was good. It was good. I know they make it in mass quantities because it's the same food, but it didn't feel like that. Like, it didn't feel like the green beans were soggy, and it didn't feel like the meat had been sitting there or anything like that. Everything tasted really good. It just hit. It hit.
Really nailed. It just really nailed.
The service was good.
Yeah.
They had everything. They knew what they were doing in there. We got drinks right away. Then they brought out the food, and
it was awesome.
Everyone was
awesome.
Just, my dad was in like
so
the
happy.
happiest place of his life. No, but it was just great, and it was, the ambiance was really cool.
Yeah,
JB makes fun of me because I'm math brained, but I do really enjoy history. I just don't remember it super well. It just doesn't stay in my brain, but I am fascinated by it. So it was really cool to be in there, and Harrison's a very history oriented, so he was very excited to be in there too.
Right.
And we were all just very happy eating there. Again, very loud inside, so if you have several kids, this is a great place to take them, even though it's kind of small and a little cramped.
Right.
We were a little cramped. That was the only thing, but it was barely noticeable because everything was just so great.
I'm like hungry just thinking about it.
This is one of those restaurants where I'd be like, I would eat there every time we go. I'd be like, check for Liberty Tree Tavern.
I know, it's really good. And they also they do start you with a mixed green salad, with house-made dressing. So you can, there is a salad first. You guys, this is just really good.
How many money signs is it?
3, because I think it's 3.
Which I guess, because it's unlimited.
But it also, it's unlimited, but it also, it does give you the DVC discount as well, which is great. And the gratuities included. So when you buy, when you get
and the
your check,
drinks, as long as they're not alcoholic.
Right. Yes, the drinks are included as well. So, I mean, it was just a joyous meal.
Oh my gosh, we all walked out of there like we were just the happiest people on the planet.
Yeah, and I think that's a huge, that's a big deal. So I felt like, oh man, I felt the magic of that meal because it was the first time we were there, and we also the first time we were there, and your parents were there too, and they loved it, and we loved it, and man, it was just. And
my really parents are great. But my dad is a little bit of a, that's an understatement. He's a picky eater.
He's very
he likes
picky.
Things plain, and he likes, so we try and consider that when we're eating somewhere. So when he's very happy walking out somewhere, like it's. All the stars aligned, and but he was just like, that was like his place. He would probably want to go back there every time.
And a pro tip, it seems like you can get on the wait list the day of and probably be okay and get in there.
For now, I hope that never changes.
Because they pump people in and out of there, but it's like you're so satisfied, you don't care. But like the wait list is a thing. So I would definitely try to get on there, even if you didn't make it 60 days in advance. You could still double check my Disney Experience app, but also you can walk up or maybe even like book it like a few minutes before, and it'll say wait list, and it's fine. Book it and then go talk to them and see. You might have to wait a little bit. We didn't wait at all. We walked up and they let us right in because I had an ADR for that. I didn't do a wait list. It was an ADR. It was a legit reservation.
Yeah.
So we walked right in because of that.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I feel like over at the Polynesian, what's the name of the restaurant?
Ohana.
People feel like you kind of get rushed in and out of there, and I feel like that's sort of what was happening here, but it didn't feel like it. I wonder what the difference is, like why people feel that way over there and why it's not a big deal. Like it just hits different.
It did hit different. I think we just really liked our food and we were satisfied with it.
And we had maybe because you're
and we were
in
at Magic Kingdom.
We were ready to get out and go do something.
If you make a poly reservation and that's all you're doing that night, you don't want to be rushed. You're at the Polynesian.
That's true. Resort dining hits different with that type of thing.
It's a very relaxing place in and of itself, and you don't want to feel rushed.
Yeah.
We'll definitely do Ohana.
Because, I don't feel like we were being rushed. Like, the guy wasn't trying to get us out of there. So, like, maybe that's the part that he actually did come up and was like, do you need any more of this? Do you need more of that? And he wasn't like, okay.
I think it depends on your server.
But they were kind of, tables were being turned over pretty quickly. But I feel like from our perspective, it was sort of like we kind of wanted to eat. We kind of wanted to eat. We did take our time, but we were ready to get up and go.
Right. Well, we had a fun night ahead, right? Yeah. We had a fun night of attractions to hit and stuff to do, which is what we did. But Liberty Tree Tavern is a 10 out of 10 for me. 10 out of 10. Like, it is a A+, gets our highest marks, only because, it does something that I feel like, it does kind of, yes, it's in Liberty Square and it's patriotic and it's something that, I don't know, I feel like America could use a little bit of, like just kind of forgetting our problems and differences for a few minutes and then just enjoying it, enjoying America. It's not perfect, but geez, no place is. Tell me a place that is. It isn't.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's not about it not being perfect and I think there's always a place for progress, but we also have a lot of things
to be thankful for.
We do.
Right.
We do.
And I think that's...
people don't focus on that enough. There's a lot of bad things going on in the world, and we have it pretty good.
Right.
Here,
right.
It's
a very trying time in our history, I feel. But it's still, it was really nice to just sit there with family, in Magic Kingdom and just have a great meal and enjoy each other's company.
My parents smiling, we were all
They
laughing.
were just super happy when they were there. It was just a really
we thrive off of staple foods like that in endless quantities. That is the Peterson way.
Yes. So, so our Brown Derby, great. Grand Floridian, not so great. Liberty Tree, perfect. I mean, it was just
amazing.
Great. It was just really good. Not perfect, but it was great.
I mean, as close as you can get.
Nothing's perfect. Yeah. So, but really, really a fantastic meal.
Oh, wait.
Highly recommend it.
I'm going to have a question at that. I know this is going to be tough for you. If you had to pick one out of Hoop-de-Doo or Liberty Tree Tavern.
Hoop-de-Doo.
Really?
Hoop-de-Doo, yeah.
Because of the show?
Yeah. I mean,
they're not
exactly and the food I think I like. There's no, I think I
Oh, I don't know.
I think I could drink the beer and eat the fried chicken nonstop. So maybe that's
You are
it.
a Peterson.
Maybe a little bit. But yeah, no, I don't know. I think Hoop-de-Doo's.
I don't know.
They're both
They're neck
great.
and neck for me. I mean, Hoop-de-Doo obviously has a show, and that's a little bit different. But
They're both great.
and that includes beer and wine. Yeah, that hits different.
I mean, it's a little.
Get your little washboard with your spoon.
I mean, it's fun. It's
I don't know,
fun.
what am I doing?
Yeah, I don't know. You're definitely playing the washboard. So, Ash was literally playing the washboard, you guys. We should film this podcast. We really should. We got to figure that out soon.
We do.
But yeah, let us know your favorite dining experiences, you guys.
Your hidden gems. What are your dining sleepers?
Yeah, that you're like, wow, this is great, and we're coming back to this. What is it? Where at? Which park? Tell us, please.
So we can steal it.
Yeah, magicinthemidwestpodcast@gmail.com, or reach us on social networks. But yeah, whatever you could do,
So
let us know.
that
And
was our
also,
dining.
book your dining reservations along with the rest of your package with Emily at Magical Mouse Travel.
Indeed.
And then if you guys need anything else, also check out the works of JB. We also have a subscription model, magicinthemidwestpodcast.bandcamp.com, with a lot of extra content for you to enjoy of Ash and I being ridiculous and having a lot of fun. Please rate and review us at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Deezer, wherever you listen to this podcast. We have a lot more to talk about our trip. We've got a lot of other stuff coming up too. So please check everything out and go ahead and pre-order Raftery's Ghost. But all right, ladies and gentlemen, from the Midwest, see you later.